Um, Speaking of people being inflicted by having things inflicted on them that probably confuse and irritate them.
Yes.
So whole life productions, if you've lived under a rock online, they are a VTuber company where they basically took over the internet in 2020 when everyone was locked home,
Hmm.
and they have steadfastly refused to release people from the rabbit hole just yet.
Yeah.
And as part of their new, we basically did a business profile of them, where they're basically a talent agency. They sell merchandise and they do partnerships with companies. This is a bit of a step up from doing a jingle with some of the performers to sing instant curry.
Yeah. Yeah.
They actually teamed up with the LA Dodgers and had an event last night where if you went to the game, you got these trading cards with these three different performers here. Uh, they
Yeah.
had the girls saying, well, they during the game itself, they had a few instances where the two performers who don't really speak English just did like some short messages, like Pecora counted off 1, 2, 3. I was not there, but the clips have been flying heavy on Twitter. So
Oh yeah. Yeah.
um, the one that's really gotten the attention is Gura saying "Take me out to the ball game."
Yeah.
And then they had a drone show afterwards with Suisse singing her music. And I'll put this up as an example of Cover Corp being intelligent, because you might go, the LA Dodgers. What the hell does whole life have to do with the LA Dodgers?
Yeah.
Well, so, so I live up in the Seattle area. It used to be that I believe Nintendo finally sold their stake in the Seattle Mariners,
Mhm.
but for a while the Mariners was uh, trying to make itself the magnet for any Japanese tourists who wanted to see an American baseball game. Because we had Ichiro Suzuki for a number of years there, and some other people. And I don't know if other stadiums had this, but this is the Nintendo ownership. If you had a 3DS while you were at the baseball game, you could interact with apps on it if you were on the network.
Huh. Hmm. That's
Uh,
interesting. Huh.
well, that crown has moved to Los Angeles, and uh, because they have was it
Shohei Otani.
Shohei Otani? Thank you. I thought that was his last name, but I don't sports very often, so
It's all right.
um, yeah. Ninja brings up an interesting point that I'll get to in a moment.
Yeah.
Uh, it is just so surreal seeing things that I'm aware of from the online verse bleed into reality in any way.
Yeah.
So other intelligent aspects of this, first off, it probably sold a lot of Dodgers tickets to weebs who otherwise wouldn't care about sports,
Yeah.
because they wanted to see the drone show and get the playing cards. And apparently, the lines at the merchandise store was left the stadium at some point.
Oh wow.
Also, this happened to line up with Anime Expo,
Ah.
so that was smart. It means you only have, like, if you already have a bunch of staff in California, it's
Mhm.
not too much of a headache to also organize this at the same time.
Oh yeah. Yeah.
Uh, it is just so surreal, because as I was looking up images for this, you have the LA Times talking about how like having pictures of Gargora and talking about how Dodgers are using this to try to appeal to the Japanese audience. Da, 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 da.
Yeah. 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 It's a bit like there was I remember there was an episode of Seinfeld where George Costanza, Jason Alexander's character, he tries to keep his friend world and his girlfriend world separate, and then his girlfriend and his friends start hanging out. And he's like, "My worlds are colliding." It's a bit like this, yeah.
Yes. Yeah. Ninja brought up. Apparently the Dodgers were behind, and then Gura saying, "Take me out to the ball game," and they rallied and won, which that's kind of perfect.
Yeah.
And I'll show this. I'll say that more the intelligence of whole life productions. Why these three? Well, besides them all being popular, they're all blue, so it goes with the Dodgers colors.
Yeah.
And they're also all some of the least sexualized members. So
Yeah.
no uncomfortable jiggle physics to worry about with anybody.
Yeah. Yeah. They don't have Coroni or yeah.
Yeah,
or
or crony for that matter.
yeah.
Um, so yep, just more intelligent businessmanship from to coin a word from our buddies over at Cover Corp.
Mhm.
And
Indeed.
it still feels weird that you can launch something on YouTube and have it show up in reality.
Yeah, it is.
But there you go.
Yep.